Hi, thanks for listening to our presentation on Do GPTs Produce Less Literal Translations? My name is Vikas Ronak. I'm a senior research scientist at Microsoft Azure AI, and this is joint work done with my colleagues, Arul, Matt, and Henny. So large language models have taken the world by storm in the last few years. Back when GPT-2 was published, its translation performance was only close to unsupervised empty baselines. And even then, the authors of GPT-2 found its performance on the task to be quite surprising, since GPT-2 had seen considerably less non-English monolingual data than prior unsupervised empty research. Fast forward, GPT-3 obtained considerably higher performance on machine translation, and with GPT 3.5, the translation performance is comparable to state-of-the-art NMT systems. So it's an interesting time where we have two quite different approaches to producing state-of-the-art translations. And a useful question to ask is, how do the translations obtained from GPTs differ from the translations obtained from NMT systems qualitatively? For example, here's a source sentence. He survived by the skin of his teeth. GPT, that is TextAvinci 002 and TextAvinci 003, produces a more natural but less literal translation of this source sentence into French, whereas NMT produces a more literal but less natural translation. So in this work, we try to investigate this quantitatively using two measurements based on alignments. The first is unaligned source word, and the second is translation non-monotonicity. And on both of these measurements, translations of similar quality obtained through DaVinci 002 and DaVinci 003 obtain higher measures of non-literalness than NMT baselines. Human annotators also rate translations produced by GPT as less literal than those produced by an NMT baseline. And experiments on idiomatic data sets also find that GPT tends to produce higher quality translations on idiomatic sentences. So please refer to the paper for details, and to summarize our work, we compare the literalness of translations produced by NMT and GPT systems. We justify and use two automatic measures of translation literalness, namely unaligned source word and translation non-monotonicity. And under a combined interpretation of multiple measurements, we observe that translations obtained by GPTs tend to be less literal. We do observe anomalies in the X to E direction, but none in the E to X direction. However, we only had black box access to the GPT systems, and an interesting question to explore is what is the impact of instruction fine-tuning on translation characteristics. Thank you.